going to talk about Universiad. We're going to talk about Taiwan and Universiad. Phil, you went to quite a few of the games.
2 of them.
Yeah. And how did you think of the games?
They were. There's some weird sounds going on.
Where's the sound coming from?
Yeah, no, they were good. It was a lot of fun. The crowds were loud and everything, and I got to see, world-class athletes doing what they do best. It was exciting.
Do you feel like Taiwan gave all of their energy and warmth to receive these athletes from around the world?
Yeah, they were very supportive of everybody. Doesn't matter what country they were from.
It feels that way because quite a few of them went back home and started to write on blogs and talk about Taiwan quite a bit. And some of the things they talked about we thought are pretty funny. So today we're going to go through some of these quote-unquote lasting impressions of Taiwan on these Universiad athletes. Because after all, they come from all different backgrounds, all sorts of cultures. But seeing as someone who has been to Japan before, you're a Canadian,
Yes,
right?
I am.
So what did you think of Taiwan when you first came here?
It's hot.
And humid.
Yeah, really hot and humid. But I don't know. It took me a while to find toilet paper because I was expecting it to be in rolls. I didn't realize that it comes in like these square packages that you have to like.
Oh.
抽湿的.
So you weren't sure if those could go.
Well, I didn't know what it was. I couldn't read Chinese at the time, and my friend sent me a picture. He's like, "By the way, this is what toilet paper looks like."
Oh, that's a very thoughtful friend. Talk to the mic. Talk to the mic.
Taiwan is actually like the last country who used this kind of toilet paper.
Really?
Yeah.
台湾现在世界上很少有国家用抽取式的卫生纸来当。
Yeah, because we used that when we're poor.
Oh.
And we still use that now. So.
When you're really poor, you don't even use toilet paper.
Well,
you use
I
your
guess.
hands.
All right.
Or leaves.
I don't want to know that part.
We got a packet right here. Okay, let's talk about toilet paper for a second. Do you find this to be a good sort of applicant, or something that you can apply and get the D's done? Like Philip.
Do I find that it works?
Do you find that it works, basically?
I mean,
and if it doesn't, what's wrong with it?
I don't know. It's fine.
It's a perfect square. You can fold it into.
It's fine. I mean, what I do like about it is how it's like versatile. Like if I need to like blow my nose, I don't need to like try to rip it off of the roll. I can just take one.
That's true.
Yeah.
Just don't confuse it. Don't like blow your nose and then put it, or vice versa.
Well, usually when you've used it once, you get rid of it. That's
is that how you're supposed to do it?
Point of it. How poor are you over there?
All right. Anyway, toilet paper is one thing. That was your first impression of Taiwan. You couldn't find toilet paper.
Yes.
Anything else you think worth mentioning that may actually come up on this list of people's lasting impression of Taiwan?
Well, people were friendly and helpful. I mean, at that point, it wasn't really like, it wasn't really more than anywhere else. I didn't feel like people, except for actually once when I was trying to find a hiking trail with my friends that I just met, my new classmates. We asked this woman in Chunjia in a family mart, and we asked her if she knew where the trail was, and then she walked us all the way there, and it took like 10 minutes. I mean, it wasn't a short walk, so that was nice.
She accompanied you.
Well, she showed us, because she figured, she directed us. Also, because Taiwanese streets are really hard and confusing, and they're strange. So anyways, I guess that's why she thought it was probably necessary.
Did she leave you with a packet of toilet paper?
She did not. And I don't know if we'd want to take it on a hike with us.
All right. So Rachel and Yvonne, we're going to run down a list of some of these athletes' lasting impressions on Taiwan.
All right.
And you're going to tell me whether or not you think it's true about Taiwan, okay?
Okay.
First off, convenience stores are convenience.
Yes.
They do everything. They open anytime.
Yes.
Do you guys feel like you're being spoiled with convenience stores in Taiwan?
Definitely.
Have you ever been to convenience stores outside of Taiwan? Anybody?
Yeah,
Rachel?
sure. Korea and Japan.
Okay. How do we compare?
But the ones in Japan are like the same.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
Right.
The one in Japan is kind of the
if
same.
not better, right? Japanese convenience stores, they have more selections of usually beverages or food.
Yeah.
Yvonne, you've been to Japan and Korea, right? How does Korea's 7-Eleven or they don't have Family Mart, I guess, but
It's not as good as Taiwanese because we make coffee, we make hot food, we microwave everything, we even have to make bubble teas. They don't do that. They don't do that in Korea.
And this is speaking from coming from someone who actually lives off the nearest Family Mart to the company.
Yes.
Okay, so it's convenient here in Taiwan. Rachel? you've lived abroad before.
Yeah, so I was in Montreal for half of my life, and the convenience stores there close at 11 p.m.
Oh, gee, yeah, I remember that.
Wait. Don't. But there's 7-Eleven. No.
No, they close.
No, in
They close
Montreal,
at 11.
no.
Really?
We don't have that. We actually don't have 7-Eleven in Montreal.
Oh, that's because you don't have it. But if it was there, it would be open 24 hours.
I would hope so.
Because I mean, the 7-Eleven's always open 24 hours. In the rest of Canada, it is.
On Vancouver Island,
Of course, we have 7-Eleven.
We have. Okay, I lived in West Vancouver, where we had one 7-Eleven that used to open 24/7, and then it stopped doing that. By the time I hit high school,
As long as I can remember, even when I went back to Canada, this year, the town that I'm from is like 7,000 people, and there's one
Right.
7-Eleven, and
Right.
it's open 24 hours.
interesting. So I guess it's not always the case. It's not the same everywhere.
I just assumed 7-Eleven never closed. Like
Right,
we
because
have jokes in English about how it doesn't close. I don't remember any of them, but we do.
I was about to ask you. Okay, well, that's one thing. Convenience stores are very convenient. What about lining up? Apparently, these athletes also think that Taiwanese people really love lining up.
Taiwanese people really love lining up, but I don't.
Like, what kind of lines are
I
we
don't.
talking about?
They're
Have
for
you ever
food.
lined up for anything that you thought was sort of silly?
I did it for Lady Gaga's concert ticket.
Okay, well, yes. You got to line
Is
up for
that
that
kinda
one.
silly? Is that
no,
silly?
something silly that you lined up for.
Like food.
Food. Like, what kind of food? Sometimes not even restaurant food, right? Like a vendor.
No, yeah, like
on the side of
sometimes
the
like
street.
a vendor. But I never line up for that.
Oh,
I
I
would
know.
just skip it.
Okay,
No,
we went
whatever.
to Jiaoxi, and then this is the what is it? 葱油饼.
Yeah.
People love lining
those are
up for
so
that.
good, though.
Yeah.
But it's everywhere. Like 葱油饼, like food stalls are everywhere. But people love that particular one.
It's just because they hear that it's famous. But you know what? If you eat the one next door, it probably tastes the same.
And okay, so we waited because one of our friends, like, he wanted to wait. So we waited, and then I was just like, this is just the
For how
same
long?
as like 30, 40 minutes.
Jeez, that's
geez.
too much time for Tong Yo Bing.
It's like, this is the same for like everywhere else is the same.
Green onion, what do you call those? Green onion cakes, I suppose? Green onion.
Yeah.
Pancake, Taiwanese
Yeah,
pancake.
yeah.
Onion
Onion
pancakes.
pancakes.
Right. I know. I don't know the owner. This is not a plug, but I know there's one on the corner of Heping and Xinsheng here in Taipei. Every time I walk by, there's always at least 20, 30 people waiting outside to get that tiny little pancake. That blows my mind.
It's not even that good for you to wait for like that long.
Do you
I
guys
think.
have any, listening to the show, or if you're watching us on Facebook Live, if there anything that you've waited a long time in line for and you want to share with us? And also make sure you share our Facebook Live as well. Phil, have you ever waited in the line for something that you thought wasn't quite worth it?
No.
Oh,
No, we always pass it, or we'd find, like something similar nearby.
very pragmatic.
I think I have lined up, but if it was over, like 10 minutes, we'd probably just skip it.
Yeah.
But would you be curious of like why people are lining up, or like is it really that good? Would you be curious to find out yourself?
I would be curious, and I'd probably just say, well, I live here. I can come back another day.
True.
No, when no one's there.
Wait, let me first figure out what kind of person you are. Have you ever been to Disneyland?
Yes, when I was 10.
Have you ever waited in line for like an hour just to get on
We
that
had
ride?
the fast pass, and I would sit on my dad's shoulders.
I see. Okay, maybe that's why you're raised not to wait in lines,
Exactly.
Philip.
No, I mean,
remember-
also coming from like Vancouver Island, there's no people, so we don't have to wait.
There's no people.
Like literally no people. We don't have to wait for anything.
You know what they say, that humankind only got to as far as we are now because we tell each other stories about what to avoid, what to expect, what is good for you and what is not. And I think waiting in line is one of those things where if you just naturally, instinctively, you want to follow where people go because that's where evolution has taken you. You want to follow them so that you survive in the end. Does that make any sense? And it seems like here in Taiwan, we have more of that quote-unquote survival instinct.
Maybe,
all
but
about
I
the
think
hype.
it's probably a lot to do with the fact that no matter where you go in Taiwan, you have to wait.
Yeah,
I mean, like you're
that's
like, oh, I'm gonna
in
go.
Taipei.
Yeah.
Especially in Taipei, but like when you go outside of Taipei to get to the countryside and it's like swarming with people, I don't feel like I've escaped anything. It doesn't make me relaxed.
I want you guys listening to the show to try this out. My folks used to tell me this story about when they were dating. They used to go to a tourist destination and they say it's a bridge, right? They will together, all two of them and all of their friends, so about 5 or 6 people, they will intentionally look under the bridge and just pretend like something is down there,
and just see
bewildering,
people's
exciting,
reaction.
and people would line up at the bridge to look down, and then they'll walk away. So I want you all to try this. If you go to a tourist destination, point at something or look at something for a long time and see if people follow suit. I really want to know if this works.
You know, there's one time when I walked on the street at night, I saw 2 rats like dancing around, and I was standing there. Yeah,
What is this,
I was
Ratatouille?
standing there and watching them, and someone passed by, and then they watched them
With you too?
me, yeah.
But there's actually
dancing.
something there.
And then I walked
Right.
away, but it's just rats.
But I would watch Dancing Rats.
Right, yeah,
I'd pay
rats
for that.
dancing. I would definitely watch that. It's like a Disney movie.
They're kind of cute.
It's like Ratatouille.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, another one on the list is apparently these athletes noticed that there are, first off, a lot of scooters here in Taiwan. Secondly, that the scooters must edge with all their might to the very front of the traffic lights.
Yes.
Okay, now that is something Phil has noticed a lot, I think.
Well, I mean,
because you ride a lot.
I do ride, and when I first came here, it was amazing to see like these squadrons, like they line up in like a big phalanx, and just like when the light goes green, they just swarm off. But the thing is, of course, they got to go to the front because that box where the motorcycles can stop is drawn at the front. I mean, and so it encourages motorcycle drivers to go all around all the other cars to get to the front.
But it didn't used to be that way here in Taiwan. I remember there was the good old days where they didn't leave a box at the traffic light, but because people tend to do that, people tend to want to edge their scooters to the front. Now, what is the reason for that? Do you ride, Rachel?
No.
Well,
But I used to like back 2 years ago.
Can you explain why they might want to do that?
I feel like everybody want to be first or like want to be ahead of
Yeah.
I think it's partly because regulations in Taiwan are very lax. So if your car can fit, you put it in.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that's with all the cars too, not just with scooters, but because scooters are even smaller, you can get around the cars. And if, police just enforce the rules, then they wouldn't be so aggressive.
Right.
I mean, in the West, you can only drive on the left side of your lane, where the driver would be in his car, and you can't pass other people. You can't have 2 motorcycles beside each other, and these rules are enforced. So when you come up to a light, you would all line up in single file.
Yeah.
Where that would never happen in Taiwan.
No, I think traffic will be extremely backed up as well if they did
Yeah,
that.
true. I mean, Taiwan's traffic is, or especially Taipei's traffic is especially that bad.
Yeah. I think some people also do it because they don't want to breathe the fume from the bus in front of them or the car in front
But then you're just breathing the fumes of the motorcycles in front of you.
Yeah, that's why everyone's trying to get to the front, because there's more fresh air.
But there's all the motorcycle fumes up there.
Yeah, there's no winning.
There's no winning.
In Taipei, or at least in Metropolis, there's no winning with this one. Okay, when we come back, we want to talk about the other parts of Taiwanese culture, like night market culture, KTV culture, boba tea culture. So we'll get to that as a part of our Real Talk today on ICRT.
We are go for launch.
Let's go. Go!
我们有留言吗？
有，我觉得可以在空中讲一讲。
好的，我们现在来分享一下。
Confessor Concealer.
超多饮料店。
请问
Every time there's a new steakhouse,
，if 身为台湾人的你们觉得外国人来到台湾会注意到什么非常代表性的、象征性的一些台湾才有的特征？那如果说你是外国人，如果说你不常住在台湾，然后来到台湾，你第一个注意到的台湾的这个代表性的特征是什么 ？So what do you notice about Taiwan when you first came here? What is the most glaring feature about Taiwan that you really took notice? And apparently we're listing some of the things that university athletes really notice. For example, that you always have to get to the front of the traffic light if you're on a scooter. Convenience stores are very convenient. You can pretty much raise a family in convenience stores. And also, people love lining up here. Now, let's share some. 我们有一些可以分享的吗？
有人说，就是 every time Dolphy, Confessor, Concealer, every time there's a new steakhouse or a tea shop, always expect for a crowd.
Yeah, that's true.
And Kevin Mosimam,
为什么这么多难念的名字
In Costco, just for try little food sample is just not so funny. I would never line up 10 minutes for one bite.
Oh, yes.
Yes, in
Costco.
Costco.
Yeah, people do line up for just those samplers.
I mean, you're supposed to go to Costco to eat all the free food quickly, not to like wait forever.
Yeah, but well, I mean, if there's a line, then I mean, if I see a line, I would not wait. That's for sure.
So is it beetle nut girls?
Yes. And apparently, the further south you go, the less clothing they wear.
Ooh, maybe I don't go south far enough.
Share.
请多分享我们今天的
分享
Facebook
分享
Live, please.
Please.
等一下，我要点播一下。
有人说大家焦肉平说大家都不敢做不爱做。Yeah, that's the thing.
That is true.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you can sit on 不爱做. It's okay.
Yeah, just move if you got it.
I have someone on the chat saying, I lined up for more than 14 minutes for Fast and Furious 8 movie when it just came out at one of the cinemas.
I lined up for 8 hours for Lady Gaga's concert.
Yeah, but that's something that comes only once every few years.
Yeah.
But food at a stall is there every single
that's
day.
crazy. But the dumbest part is after that 8 hours, and then it sold out, and then 他们加场. I was like, what's the point?
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Why did I wait there? Stay out
Because you
there
don't
for
know.
8 hours.
Yeah, they didn't know. That's it.
But it's still, that's a bit of a piss.
That's the trick.
Yeah. 分享。
OK， 好，我们等一下在空中分享一下你们刚刚打的，然后我们的 App Chat 也可以用啊。We have Kevin who is on the App Chat saying, "We don't use rolled toilet paper because we are poor."
Question mark? Is that a question?
Yeah, that's absurd. Rolled toilet paper is cheaper.
Is it? Is it?
I think they make less here, so it's
可
more
是我
expensive.
真的是前一阵子看到有个文章说，现在是台湾用那个是穷的时候用，然后现在大家都改成 roll 的那一种。
哦，你说哦 yeah. So yeah, it's not that we
We are
use
poor.
rolled
because we
toilet
are
paper because we're poor. We use these ones.
Yeah, we used
The
that one
square
because
ones
we were
because we
poor.
came from the bottom.
Yeah, 只是我们一直就是 stick to it.
I guess you're right because rolled toilet paper you need to have like a machine that does the rolling for you
And you have
and
to, 你还有一个 extra 的那个
cone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
paper
but you have to
cone.
have a machine that gets these things to line up
Yeah.
and fold like that.
Or you can just get people to do it, which means that every single toilet paper
more
you use,
expensive.
someone touched it.
Oh.
Alright, we'll share some of these. 你们有可以分享的吗？
上面吗？还是我自己有一个故事可以分享？
你们 no， 你在 chat 上面的。
就是他们刚才说 night market 有什么吃的，蛙粿、蚵米耍。
哎，我觉得如果说要讲台语的，可不可以以方你来讲？
讲台语 OK 啊，
我
没
袂晓讲台语
我会当讲台语，无问题，无问题。有人要甲我讲台语无？I just asked if someone wants to talk Taiwanese.
假八百。
假爸爸。
假爸爸。你假爸 That's also one thing. Have you eaten? That is how we greet each other. All right, we're right back. No music in this time. We're doing real talk, and we're talking about all things Taiwan today. Once again, we have Rachel, Yvonne, and Philip. What's up, everybody?
Hello.
What up?
All right, so today we're talking about everything that is impressionable of Taiwan. Previously, we covered convenience stores, we covered people who love lining up, we covered scooters, culture, and we also talked about toilet paper. In the first portion. Efficacy of using toilet paper, maybe. And Kevin on the ICRT app chat doesn't seem to agree that we use rolled up toilet paper because we were poor. Actually, no, that's not what we said, right?
No, we
used the
this-
conventional
yeah.
packets because we came from an economy that didn't have, I guess, machines to make these rolled up toilet papers. I mean, I think I've never actually seen one until I went to Canada, which is
The roll.
the rolled.
And that was also a long
Toilet
time
paper
ago,
roll.
wasn't it?
Was-
Like a long,
Well,
long
come
time.
on, not that long.
A long time ago.
And we talked about lining up. Po Papo on the app chat says, I lined up for more than 14 minutes for Fast and Furious 8 movie. That's not that
That's
bad,
not too
actually.
bad.
There are people who lined up like an hour for the Harry Potter movies.
Who?
Not you.
Not anyone specific.
Yeah, not anyone specific. My cousin lined up the whole night to wait for the last book that came out from Harry Potter. So I guess this one is about how passionate you are regarding that topic, right?
I guess.
All right, and now we're going to talk about night market culture. Favorite night market food from each of you, Yvonne?
Oh, night market 鸡排.
鸡排.
Yeah.
What do you call 鸡排? Fried
chicken
steak.
Cutlet?
That's a cutlet.
Yeah.
Not like a whole piece, right? Like a whole thigh. Philip, yes. What's your favorite?
I don't know. There's so many, but I like the black pepper bun.
Oh, really?
But I can't have it anymore, which sucks.
Wow.
Yeah, his body can't process it anymore because he probably had too much of it. That's why it's killing him.
Too much of a good thing.
Can be a bad thing. Rachel, your favorite night market food?
I think it's the same as Yvonne, like 咸酥鸡 and 鸡排. Like,
Yeah, the fry.
No one is
fried
saying
food.
No one's saying lu wei braised.
I don't like.
But that
I
you
like-
can get everywhere, not really just.
I like the way as well, but I like fried things.
Yeah, me too.
More.
What about this? Your favorite night market in Taipei or in the greater Taipei area?
I don't like night markets because it's always full of people.
It's
Oh.
true.
I hate people.
Oh,
You hate too many.
I hate too many people
You like
around me.
specific people, right?
Right.
I like
Well,
you.
specifically this one, she might hate a little bit. You like people in general, just not too many.
Yeah.
Rachel, which is your favorite night market?
The one that I go to the most, is 通化街.
Okay, yeah, that's a good one. They
临江
have
街也是.
they have really good 意面. I remember. I was
Yeah.
raised on that stuff.
Yeah.
Philip?
I never remember the names of them, but the one by Zhongshan Station.
Zhongshan Station.
What is
wait, 中山 doesn't 双连 you mean? 双连那边那个叫什么？宁夏. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
That's the one.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it good?
Small one.
It's small, but it's got a lot of good food.
Do you like it because
And-
it's closer to you?
Well, it takes like 10 minutes to drive there, but that's not really. I mean, that's where I go when my friends want to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite is Raohe because I live right next to it.
And that's the one that's got the best black pepper bun.
Yes, they do.
That's where I first had it, and that's where I will always remember them.
Oh,
They
look
also
at you.
have it left a mark on your heart.
It did.
They also have the best 小笼包, the little dumpling.
Where?
The one in
part?
Raohe near the end, towards where. Okay, we'll talk about this later. What about you guys? What's your favorite night market food? Which is your favorite night market? Maybe introduce us to some of the central or southern Taiwan night markets on the ICRT Facebook Live as we're doing today's Real Talk there. What about KTV culture? Yvonne is big on KTV, but she can
I
actually
am
sing.
big on KTV.
You love singing, right?
I love singing. Yes.
She's an actual singer for a band called Greedy Black Hole. But do you enjoy KTV, right? I mean, we've
Yeah,
been there
I
a couple of
do.
times. You seem to
Yeah.
enjoy yourself.
I do if the people surround me are fun.
Can I tell you guys a story on the air? I used to love KTV until I went with Yvonne, and she completely destroyed my confidence. She told me I sucked at singing, and I just never enjoyed it anymore.
And then she rocked it, right?
And she rocks it,
Oh, no.
like
But
in my
for-
face.
But for the last time we went singing,
Yeah.
I was slapped in my face because there are
There were two professional singers singing
there.
with us.
Yeah.
Sophie and Erica who joined
Yeah.
us. But nowadays I don't care anymore. I do know that Yvonne gives me this look while I'm
no, I
performing.
didn't.
Philip, do you like singing KTV?
No. Last time I did it was in Japan. That was like 8 years ago.
In Japan, they have like an open space KTV, right? Or
No,
do
it
they also
depends.
do
No,
little
the
rooms?
KTV started in Japan, right? So they have, they have the single ones. It's in North America. Like Canada's mostly where you'll have the big open one where you sing in front of the whole bar, so everybody can see your shame.
I cannot do that.
No.
Yeah.
No, I
I'm
can't
too
even do the
insecure.
room
You
ones.
can rap. You can rap.
I can rap a little bit. Rachel, do you like singing at KTVs?
I like singing in general, so I can sing like whenever. It doesn't have to be a KTV, but I feel like KTV is so popular because it's a place where people hang out. They like to drink there, like to play drinking games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why it's so popular here in Taiwan.
They have all the games at KTV. They have dice
It's
games.
true.
They have cards.
Yeah.
For those of you who can't sing, they're like, oh, you have something to do.
There are food.
And there's food.
Yeah, good food.
Favorite KTV food? Mine is beef noodle for sure. I got like 2 bowls of that the last time we went.
Dumplings.
Dumplings.
Nice.
Rachel?
Probably like
Fried stuff
鸡翅.
again.
Yeah.
Okay, what about when it comes to in a North America, Asians in North America call 珍珠奶茶or these sort of 手摇杯 boba tea. B-O-B-A. But here we call them bubble tea because it's really 珍珠, it's bubbles.
But in Vancouver, they call it bubble tea.
But
I've
in
never heard boba tea in
Montreal, they call it tapioca.
Tapioca.
Well, that's what it's
drinks, but
made
that's
out
what
of.
it actually is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they
I
call it
don't know.
that.
When it comes to bubble teas or boba drinks, it's said that a lot of Taiwanese people have one like every single day. A lot of athletes who visited Taiwan during university had noticed that we drink one every day. Do you guys actually do that? No. Not every day, right?
No.
Definitely not.
And if you do go, which ones do you go for? I mean, what the type? Don't call out names of companies.
I go for ones without milk.
Oh, you can't
can't
really
have
do
milk.
milk right now. Oh, Philip, that sucks. All right, if you guys want to ever send boba tea to ICRT, make sure you have one that doesn't have milk.
Yeah.
For poor
Phil.
Philip right here. Yvonne's favorites?
Of course, 珍珠奶茶,
Downright. I've
Downright
heard
珍珠
that you're
奶茶.
not supposed to actually have naicha. It's not good for you. Like milk with tea is actually not good for you. From a doctor uncle of mine. I don't know if that's scientifically
Nowadays, I don't
proven.
really go to 手摇杯店. No, maybe I drink one every 3 months and
Okay.
like half sugar.
How do you have it? Half sugar, ice?
No
Less
ice.
ice.
No ice, less ice.
Yeah.
半糖, 少冰.
Maybe 微糖. Like I try not to take.
Yeah, less sugar intake. What about you, Rachel?
Yeah, same. I don't go there that much at all. Like I try to stay healthy as much because I just came back last year and I did a lot of that early on, and I'm
Okay.
like, no, I gotta start taking care of my body. Yeah.
Man, but if you go for a boba tea, you gotta go all the way. At least have half sugar.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I look the way I am right now. Darn it. All right, one last thing. People who visited Taiwan noticed that we tend to visit our hospitals a lot. Is that true?
Because we have good
True.
health care.
We do have good health care, but I think people abuse it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, like you got a cold, run to the emergency room. Like that's not what it's used for. Also, it's expensive if you go to the emergency room.
For the country.
No, for yourself
for
too.
yourself, okay.
Emergency rooms, you got to pay like 2,000 NT or something. It
Really?
depends which one. Yeah.
Well, I never had to pay. Because when I go, I'm obviously not the one to pay. Like
You mean your
Someone-
mama paid for you? Or
Like
what?
my parents would be like, I would be hurt, I wouldn't be the one paying. So I don't ever notice how much you pay at.
Yeah, no, the emergency
rooms.
room's not cheap. And I mean, you're just wasting resources.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Well, I used to live near the Cafe Hospital. That place is like a night market. Well, actually, it is because there's a lot of street vendors around there. And yeah, I gotta say, we go to hospitals way too much. And I think I read this stat somewhere that the sleeping pills that is used by every Taiwanese person in a year can actually, if you line them up, they can circle the whole island like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, contribute a little bit of that.
Yeah, we eat a lot of pills.
But not just sleeping pills. I mean, if you got a cold, they'll go to the doctor and then they'll give you pills. And you can't. If you have a cold, no medication is going to do anything.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
they'll give you like antibiotics for a cold, and then you're just making the. No, I don't need to talk about that.
He feels very strongly about this. We have Popapo, who's apparently, I think he's tuned in from the Taipei Medical University, saying that the first time I sang at KTV, I had my whole squad laughing. I hated it, but it was fun, and that's what matters.
What you said, Papa Paul?
No, Popapo. That's
I
his
thought you
name.
said Papa Paul. It's like-
Yeah, I know.
I don't think Papa Paul would be singing KTVs.
but you know, why not?
Yeah, that's
why
true. We should
not?
take Papa Paul to KTV. All right, if you have anything to share about some special lasting impressions of Taiwan, make sure you put that on ICRT Facebook Live's little comment section, and we love to answer to you. And once again, that is today's Real Talk. Thank you, Yvonne, Philip, and Rachel for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's play a request. Here is Imagine Dragons with Thunder.